Hi guys, Dashric here. Real name's Theo. I have a video request from when I bought my new pads. Someone's like, how do they differ from your original pads or my old pads? Not my original pads. We're gonna go over that right now. And then I haven't actually been able to get back to football practice. So I haven't been able to actually test these, and I know that I had another comment about how the new ones actually stack up in terms of the other ones, but I'm like, I don't know how they physically handle yet. So this compare and contrast is just gonna be like weight and physical characteristics, and then how they look on me with the same jersey. That's the little special part at the end. It's just to give like, does it give a better look, I guess. Cosmetics, swag, whatever. So my original pads that I had for the last many years are Schutt Varsity Flex 4.0s. They are adult small. They are skill pads, however, and I am a middle linebacker. Do we see a problem? So yes, the pads are very, very lightweight. I can't necessarily say, as is right now, this padding right here for the neck is very thin. It's very weak padding. I can't remember if it was very sturdy padding to begin with. But it's got very light foam. It's very breathable. These things never stink. I have had some really hot, summery, wet games, and this stuff just doesn't stink. I think I've sprayed a little bit of Febreze on it once, and that was right before I moved here to the Netherlands. So they were going to be jam-packed in a suitcase for like 8 hours on a plane, 10, whatever, forever. But yeah, so they are very light pads. Obviously they've handled up really well. They've gotten some scuffs on the shoulders, but the S has stayed intact. It hasn't scuffed off. So, but like I said, the pads themselves are very breathable. Yeah, it's very lightweight. But the one thing I notice about these pads, now I usually keep my jersey in my pads and the straps, so my shoulder pads constantly are sitting around the house in this form, even maybe something like this. But they want to open up a lot more by nature. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just saying that they're much more loose and airy. But as you can see, they fit on just fine. The pad thing comes down. It's right there on that part of the shoulder. You got the outside cuff, and then the one that protects that. So you've got the full protection on the outside. And then, it's like DB comes up. You got a lot of room for this thing to kind of slide around. You don't really want it to slide around. I get it, but like this thing's all bound up. You got a lot of here. Okay, so both the pads have regular buckle straps. That's what I call them. So as you can see, they do fit, but they're very thin. I mean, you take your hand, and there's this pad is flippy, dippy. It's still, I mean, look at that. I can get my hands out to catch a ball way over my head, and I'm still not even choking myself very well. So if I lean back, it's perfect. These are great skill pads. If I was in some sort of a skill role, I probably would have kept these pads. But I'm not. I'm a linebacker. I need something a little bit more robust. They've got the protection. They come down. They cover. See, these don't actually come down far enough on my sternum. So I was worried about some of my protection. But like I said, they do have, you can even use these as QB pads. You can probably physically cut this. It doesn't actually remove very well, but you can also kind of fold it in if you need to. Provides a little bit more padding specifically right there, but allows without that, but it does allow you to get grabbed a lot easier if you happen to have a handsy corner. Like the movement is really great on these. And so yeah, I mean, they're probably going to be sold to someone else on the team that's like a skill player that maybe is a smaller breed, or even one of our linebackers that's a smaller breed. Coon, that's his name. He's small. But anyways, so yeah, as you can see, things work well, and you got the little wings when you jump, and yeah. So as you guys can see, they've got multiple of these different pads, and everything works fine. Everything works great, and like I said, it breathes super easy, and you know, it kind of holds up a little bit. You can kind of reach in and do the puff puff on the sidelines in case you happen to be getting like super sweaty. Like I said, it breathes really easy. You got a lot of movement, and it provides great protection. I mean, I was being a linebacker in these, and under a freak accident, I broke a collarbone. But then again, one of our receivers, who wore bigger pads than I do, also broke his collarbones. It's just, they're things that break. So I don't hold it against the pads at all, considering they lasted so long and traveled across an ocean with me. The cool thing is they do have this little plastic cover for the thing, so you don't get, so that this metal piece in there isn't actually tearing anything up, not there, but anyway. And so, yeah. But it's all held together with these straps. So like I said, they're very light and they're very useful, but yeah. All right. My new pads are Xenith. They are physically heavier. I do not know by how much, because I think of things as kilograms, not pounds now. And even so, I wouldn't be able to guess. But I guarantee you, these are heavier than this. All right, let's hold them in the exact same spot on the back plate. These feel like they may be twice as heavy, but we're not looking at like their lead weights. You know, they are hybrid pads, not skill pads. So they have thicker pads. These have, the camera will pick this up. Can you hear this plastic? Versus, it's a lower tone. That means that the plastic's a little bit thicker, there's a little bit more muffling, which means there's probably more padding. Even down on this one, you hear a lower sound. That means there's more padding to muffle the sound. The plastic itself is probably a bit thicker. But these pads are definitively heavier, but like I said, they're not like wearing lead on your shoulders. They're that heavier that is robust. They still have the straps, so that's good. I always, I understand that like a quarterback or maybe even a kicker or someone on special teams wants skill pads and just basically needs to wear pads. They can do with like the straps, so they can like, and even some receivers that don't get, you know, pressed a lot can have that extra little that the strap pull, you know, the little elastic strap pulls that a little bit more. Kind of how you do, but again, I like having the security of. So these pads don't have that little like mesh on them. They're much more solid, but they are, again, new pads. The benefit with these is something I'm going to have to probably spend a bit of time doing over the next practice season when things back up, is figure out where I want these guys. They have a couple places you can kind of float them around a little bit, but they're not going to, you know, you can't just, you know, pick and choose wherever you want them. But like, yeah, they're not even centered on this as is right now. Okay, sorry. I centered them as best I can on each of their Velcro pads to make neutrality. But yeah, like I said, so they've got thicker plastic. As you can see, they're not wanting to fold out on their own as much. Like these, I put down on their back, and they're just like clamshell opening. These still keep a bit of, which means the plastic's a bit sturdier. It's holding its form. In terms of how they feel, you know, obviously you just put them on. Benefit to these, there is no lacing here. So what happened with these pads is a very aggressive lineman ripped these apart. He ripped off my strap thing, so I had to basically pull out a shoelace from an old shoe and super tie them together. And it wasn't working very well. It was the second shoelace I'd been through. It's time for new pads. But like when you're dealing with a regular corner, they're not as very, you know, jerky around. But yeah, see, you've still got the strap, and now I can feel this pad in here on the front, but I've got a little bit of pliable room because this comes down and provides this area. These can kind of tuck under there, so you don't have like the little titties. Anyways, I'm being goofy. But yeah, so there's no lacing, but the one thing is this pad here, unlike those, is much more robust. And so when my arm is up here, it's actually harder for a lineman to get there. You know, they can't just grab me anywhere. They have to get in right here, and my arms are already right there. Benefit. One of the things Martine had taught me is that offensive linemen want to grab you like right here. So if I engage like that, he has to grab me and my pec at the same time, and that means we're already in the hand fight anyways. So I'm less easy to be jerked around. These pads don't actually, yeah. Like I'm not going to be necessarily catching any balls. I mean, I can. You know, it gives a little bit of room, but when the jersey's actually on, we'll actually see how things work. The two jerseys I'm going to test out here are old compression jerseys from my team in the States. The jerseys are the exact same jersey. So they are by this company, adult medium, and I'm checking adult medium. So we will see how they fit on each of these shoulder pads. Okay, so we've got my old adult small pads, my number 59 Cobra's jersey. Multiple times during this last season, I had players from the Hurricanes ask me how I got shoulder pads so streamlined. And so you'll see what I mean. Come on. It's a compression jersey in the So here's this, and you can see how it comes down, and this jersey just like stops right there. And it has this little sleek look. It's a little distracting with the stars and the stripes. I get it, but you know, the Cobras team was uber patriotic. And so yeah, and the cup comes around, and you got that, and it looks great, you know, and wonderful skill player, and like I said, you got this, you can kind of bounce it around a little bit, and here's what the back looks like. It's great. You know, it's got this very low profile, and for those that don't like to have big bulky shoulders but that need to be skill players, these are really good pads for skill players. I'll say this again, really good pads for skill players. So now we're going to switch over to the white version of this with my other pads, because it's already set up. Just like when I did the other thing, I got the back pad stuck. All right, much better. 5. Okay. Those of you probably can't actually notice a difference. I can definitely feel a difference. This jersey is pulling on all of these pads because, yeah. So yeah, you know, still got the arm reach, all that stuff. It's got a little bit more round in the back. You know, I would put my helmet on and show you guys, but it just doesn't match, and that's just terrible. If I had my blue Hurricanes jersey, I'd be doing this. You see how it still comes around and tucks underneath this? Yeah. I had to put my shirt. I had to put the shirt back on because it took me forever to get the other pads off because that stuck to my sweaty skin. It's like 25 degrees in here. Anyways, that's what these, and that's what it looks like with pat, 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 pat. But yeah, it has the nice smooth look. There's nothing like bad sticking out. There's no little like pokey bits. Yeah, see, still got the big broad shoulders. Again, super patriotic for an old team. New team, I'm gonna have like 44 sitting here, so I'll actually look real and not like some sort of rebellious American flag that symbolized something. I don't know. The black and white American flag actually means something of like rebellion against the crown or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. Again, this is the same size jersey, but it feels tighter with the bigger pads because these are adult medium, not adult small. And that's that for this little compare contrast. I'll check you guys out later. Bye.